Sheikh, I have a question. Have you come upon any literature that describes the role of Muslims outside of Middle East, example Southeast Asia, in the era of Akhir Zaman? Thank you.
As soon as Israel comes out from behind the hijab to join in the big wars, we know, for example, that someone changed the Bible to declare that the Holy Land extends from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. So the whole of the eastern delta of Egypt is part of the Holy Land. So Dajjal cannot claim to be the Messiah unless Israel wages war on Egypt to extend its territorial frontier to encompass the entire eastern delta. That's one war that Israel has to wage, which is why NATO wanted to be in Libya. As soon as Israel comes out from behind the hijab to start waging her wars, which will be several wars, she's got to attack Pakistan. It's goodbye to Singapore. Goodbye to Singapore. Singapore cannot survive because of the foolish policies of Lee Kuan Yew. Little Singapore, a little island in a sea of Muslims all around you, and you have this stupidity to become little Israel? Huh? How can Singapore survive? Because the Malay people love Islam. And when Israel comes out to start waging those wars, no government in Malaysia can control them. No government in Indonesia can control them. Forget it. A Singaporean who leaves Singapore to go to Johor may not return home alive. Their anger will be so great. But then what is Singapore to do? The Singaporeans know that Singapore cannot survive once Israel starts to wage her wars. So the implication for Southeast Asia is that there's going to be synchrony between Singapore and Israel. That as soon as Israel lashes out, Singapore will have to lash out in order to gain more space. Singapore will have to take either part of Indonesia or part of Malaysia, maybe Johor, in order to become a more viable entity that can survive. That's my answer to you.
Please welcome second question. Verbal question. Verbal question.
The supremacy of paper money is now being reduced to electronic and digital money. And what can this ummah do to revert to dinar and dirham to get monetary independence? The answer is plain and clear. There's only one way to respond. That if you recognize dinar and dirham to be the sunnah, and if you recognize that we've abandoned the sunnah, then integrity requires that you must recover the sunnah that you abandoned. Return to gold and silver, dinar and dirham. Can the government of Malaysia accept that? No. Why? Because international law prohibits it. Even Dr. Mahathir was not aware that the Articles of Agreement of the International Monetary Fund, the Zionists created International Monetary Fund, prohibit the use of gold and silver as money. Yes. If you make haram what Allah make halal, that is shirk. And if we obey you, that is shirk. Which now brings me back to Ahmad Sukarno, the one leader in the whole world of Islam was Ahmad Sukarno. He has the image of having been a playboy, he loved women, and all men love women. All men love women. So don't demonize Ahmad Sukarno. When Indonesia came into being, Ahmad Sukarno called some of his monetary advisors, the ulama, to discuss the subject of money. And Ahmad Sukarno, after consultation, decided that the Indonesian rupiah would be redeemable in gold. The 10 Indonesian rupiah will be redeemable in 5 dinar. I think that was the figure. There's a book written on the subject, but it's written in Bahasa, Indonesian. So Ahmad Sukarno wanted to keep dinar and dirham as money, and the paper money would be redeemable in gold, the way the US dollar was supposed to be redeemable in gold. Nobody else in the world of Islam, other than Ahmad Sukarno, or nobody else attempted this. Nobody. Dr. Mahathir made an effort only for government-to-government trade. So long as this IMF is there, you can't do it. Do you know that Indonesia withdrew from membership of the IMF? Do you know that? Yes. The one Muslim country which withdrew from the IMF was Indonesia. Nobody credits him today. Hugo Chavez tried it in Venezuela. May Allah have mercy on the soul of that Christian man. May Allah have mercy on the soul of that Christian man. Hugo Chavez. But he could not do it because it was too difficult. Evo Morales in Bolivia would try, would love to do it. Get out of the IMF. They put the rules are such a difficult to get out. But Indonesia did it. Came out of the IMF. Indonesia also came out of the United Nations, which was created by the Zionists. And that's why they had to get rid of Sukarno. And they used this Zionist plot which put this henchman Suharto in his place. And then Sukarno was poisoned and he died. What we can do is to wage a struggle to get our governments to agree to make gold and silver legal tender. The government of Malaysia is not prohibiting you from minting gold and silver, no. You can buy dinar and dirham in the market. Bank Negara is saying that this is barter, it's not violating the law. What we want is legal tender law. That is now halal to use dinar and dirham to buy and sell. That's what we want. Once you have those legal tender laws, then we have to explain to the people that if a man comes to buy your goods from you and he offers to pay for it with halal money, and you refuse the halal money and you want the haram paper money, Allah will punish you for that. That's when the ulama will have to come on board to explain to the people. That's the method to bring back gold and silver. But how many ulama are there who have said that this paper money is haram? How many?